but pushed it aside. I don't need to hear from him constantly, but a sudden break in our routine felt weird because he always tells me in advance when something is going on or if he's busy. Always. He also always forgets something for the dinners he makes us and asks me to grab something on the way home. Always. Not today though. Anyway, I drove to his apartment from work and let myself in with the key he gave me. I expected to hear music, smell some dinner, or something, but it was completely silent. I put my stuff down on the hall bench and walked toward the kitchen. I saw grocery bags at the kitchen's entrance, which I thought was weird. As soon as I entered the kitchen, I saw a broken wine glass at the far end of his kitchen island with a few drops of what I thought was red wine until I saw his feet sticking out. I sprinted around the island and he was lying on his side, facing away from me. There was blood everywhere. On the edge of the island, splatters on the wall, and a large pool of blood around his head. I haven't made the sounds that came out of me since I got the call that my late partner passed. My heart was racing so badly that my chest and head hurt. Though I felt like I was in full-blown panic mode, I physically went into autopilot. I work in healthcare again, so I'm glad that my instincts kicked in. He was on his side, so I flipped him flat on his back. From what I gathered, trying to take a medical visual inventory of his injuries, it looked like he was just bleeding from his head. He didn't respond to my voice or a quick sternal rub. He wasn't moving at all, and when I put my ear down to his mouth, I wasn't hearing or feeling breathing. He had blood all over his face, so I couldn't tell if his lips were blue or anything like that. I do remember checking for a pulse and I truthfully didn't feel one, though in hindsight I can't be sure if I was mentally stable enough to discern one either way, so I tilted his head back and put my hands over his chest to start CPR while screaming at my phone for Siri to call 911. I only got 2 hard and fast compressions in when he miraculously came back from the dead screaming at the top of his lungs. After that, I'm not going to lie, I blacked out a bit. I remember getting lightheaded, my boyfriend shaking me, him apologizing, I remember him calling off 911, and I remember leaving his apartment covered in what I had obviously figured out was fake blood. I did get a call back from the police to confirm basically that my boyfriend had played a prank and no one needed help. Otherwise, I felt completely catatonic in a way. I zoned out. Needless to say, since last night I've been a complete mess, I'm angry, and I'm devastated. The entire thing keeps playing in my head, and while the logical part of my brain knows that he pranked me and that he's alive, my body hasn't figured it out. Worse, this completely brought up everything surrounding my late partner, and I feel like I have to start my grieving process for him all over again. The anger I feel isn't a revenge type of anger, but an exhausted type of anger. The rage is so strong and intense that it's taken every ounce of energy away to act on any of it. I guess that's a good thing. My boyfriend has tried calling me over 40 times. He sent me too many texts to count. He even came over to try to talk to me that same night, but luckily even though he had a key, I have a deadbolt chain so he wasn't able to get in. Basically, he shouted an apology through the crack and begged me to talk to him. My neighbors shooed him off after a while. My friends also messaged me to ask if I was safe, saying he contacted them and told them everything. I only texted one of my friends back. My boyfriend's sister called me this morning in tears apologizing on her brother's behalf and told me how sorry he is. She said that if he would have told her about the prank beforehand, she would have chewed him out for even thinking of the idea. Their parents were horrified as well and have said that they are here to support me in whatever way I need. His sister told me that he had come over to her house after I didn't let him into my place and he was having a major anxiety attack with chest pain, racing heartbeat, and trouble breathing. It was so bad that she took him to the emergency room where they learned that I had fractured a couple of his ribs while attempting to give him what I thought was life-saving CPR and in the process had also punctured a lung. There are so many emotions going through my head right now. I am so angry at the world for yet again ripping away a man I love from me. Because, even though he's alive, I don't think that I'll ever be able to get over this. At the same time, I still love and care for him. It's like, all I want to do is rush to the hospital to be by his side, while at the same time feel like the sight of him would make me sick. He disgusts me in every way, yet the thought of being without him breaks me in ways I can't explain. Do I even consider trying to fix things with him? Was this entire relationship a facade that he built up to sell a prank that is so cruel and disgusting?